Yeah, sorry about that, fellas. The batteries ran out because I left my other batteries in the car sitting here next to there. I toughed them out, so yeah. So I'm running on 3 silvers and one of these chevron things. So I don't know how long we got. I needed to buy another pack of silvers, I think. But you know, as I said, it's penny pinching time in Abbottland sort of thing. But yeah. I didn't even get to go in and see that other spot I wanted to go and see, so maybe when I come back to photograph the wicks or something in with night scene flash or something, I'll do it then or something. I said I need a drink. I need to get to Hams Road now and crack a can or something. I think. Oh, anyway, look, we just go through here. Oh. Dumfries Street, remember that name because we had so much hassle learning how to get here via the side streets last year, didn't we? Oh, and of course we've also lost the clip, the final clip of how we worked it all out. That was with the clips that had the final harvesting of the Minkara pig seed, so you know that got lost as well. So yeah, unfortunately. And I didn't even get to watch them properly myself, you know. It's sort of like just watch the first 3 or 5, you know, 3 to 5 seconds. Yep, they're there, sort of thing. And then of course my son wanted extra space on the computer I'm using now, because now he's got a brand new super duper computer that has Blu-rays. So you know, hopefully I'll get to see this little Shop of Horrors, the extended version, and maybe those other Blu-ray discs that. The Glory Hunter sent me, the Sarracenia in Florida sort of stuff, and the Glid one. He said there was a surprise in it for me. Whether the surprise is actually going to be on the Blu-ray disc or something, I just haven't got to it. I don't know, but I think after that, if there's no surprise on the Blu-ray, the Glid disc or something, and there was nothing leading to anything, no, like web code or something that leads to any great surprise, I think I'm just going to roll a line under it, and that's it. You know, that's the end of it. I mean, I've had enough. I mean, the idea was, I told him, you know, I'm going on these bloody medication. I've never been on medication in my whole life. I don't really agree with going on medication. I wanted that machinery that I've seen on the ABC. You know, this bloke from America talking about autism or something, saying that they zap your brain with this machine, and for the next 3 hours, you first of all, you feel like a normal person. And then over the next 3 hours you have residual effects, and over about 6 weeks your brain gets to say, oh, is this how a normal person feels? I quite like this, and it readjusts itself. But no, they want you to go down the drug path, and then we find out the drug they put me on is not the same as the other one, and there's all this green fielding and all this other rubbish. So it was a real tough time, probably one of the worst times in my life. And so I said to him, you know, I'll meet you on the other side, just stick to the plan. And of course, here we go, a German who can't stick to the plan and screws me over. But you know, yeah, it's more than just being ripped off. He bloody cheated me, basically, you know. And I've got it in writing too, so I can actually prove it. And I've got no email now. I was just lucky enough to get most of it off, you know, all the way back to November. So I got basically all of it to a certain extent, right the way back to November. So you know, I've got it in writing. I've shown you on screen that I've got it in writing. Yeah, I think I'm just going to tell it how it went down to me in the thesis. I think I've got a duty to history. I've got a duty to people who come from the future to do that, to tell them just how hard it was, how bloody hard it was to get to the answer. And if you weren't doing it for the right reason, I would have been like someone else who, you know, went round in circles for 3 to 5 years and gave up, whereas I went round in circles for a whole decade. Then I had another concerted effort, a really expensive effort to have another go, and even then I just got the knowledge that allowed me to break through finally, but I didn't actually break through then. I mean, that's how hard it was. But now we can grow plants in soil that doesn't have any peat in it whatsoever. I mean, that's the only, basically you're growing them in a mineral soil or a sand culture, which is the scientific way to go, because once you got a plant growing in a sand culture, that's the scientific accepted way or understanding that you really know what you're talking about. I mean, if you're always in some sort of peat sand or peat humus or something, you've got so many other variables there that you just really can't say that it's very scientific, you know. I mean, you always have to go out and get the same type of peat or something from the same bog and all that sort of crap, you know. But once you've got it growing in a sand culture, yes, this is probably the rant for today, fellas. Once you've got it growing in a sand culture, it's basically a hydroponic system to a certain extent, then it's more scientific. You know what everything, basically, if you make the assumption that your quartzite sand is pure, you can actually make your quartzite sand pure by acid or alkaline washing your sand, doing both probably. Acid gets rid of the iron and the alkaline wash gets rid of the aluminium, sort of thing. You can basically control most of the, if not all the variables, to a certain degree, a fair extent, you know, as far as you can basically humanly possibly control the variables in a small setting, sort of thing. I mean, you're not bloody running it out of a university department and you've got like 30 other people, you know, doing all the, you know, as far as you can do it with that it's humanly possible for one person to do, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we'll see where it goes. Whether we'll get to 4-inch fly traps over the next couple of seasons, I don't know, but if this 4 times nitrogen fixing formula works, well, you know, you've got the chance of having a factor of 4 stuck on what you normally do, so you never know. You could go from the average 1-inch trap that most people do in cultivation, 4 times 1 inch, maybe we'll get there, I don't know, but we'll give it a good go. Okay, over and out.